Hey everybody, welcome back to a North Texas Weather Center forecast, and today what we're looking at is the potential for snow in North Texas Saturday and Saturday night. So this is going to be something to watch out for. Nothing that's going to be crazy by any means. You're not going to have to worry about power outages or anything like that. It'll be a pretty minimal event, to be honest. It's just something that you might want to get excited for, because there might be some flurries in North Texas. Not everybody's going to see snow by any means, and not really any of this will accumulate for the most part, unless you're back off to the northeast, close to areas like Sherman or Paris. I'm going to show you the full breakdown with the latest timing and what to expect in terms of how much snow you might see with my latest forecast. So let's kind of break down some minor changes over the last 48 hours. Nothing crazy. It's kind of been pretty similar to what my first forecast was back on Wednesday. So no major changes have happened since then. So let's go ahead and take a look at the future radar. So here's your timestamp. It's at the top left of your screen. There might be an isolated shower this afternoon or this evening. Can't rule it out. Probably won't be much, and it's warm tonight, so don't be concerned about snow. It's going to be in the 70s. Highs today are going to be in the low 70s. So again, the cold front won't come through until overnight tonight, which will obviously spike up those winds. Wind gusts will be pretty significant overnight. Here we go through the next several hours. Again, there might be some rain overnight tonight, primarily down to the southeast. Eventually tomorrow morning, about 6 o'clock, you don't see a whole lot here in the DFW Metroplex. Maybe some showers back off to the east and northeast, closer to like Texarkana. Those areas might see maybe a little bit of shower activity. The bulk of the snow in the low pressure system is really here. I mean, we're looking at a pretty big system here. Let me go and outline this for you. Here's your big area that we have to watch out for. Now, most of this will stay off to our east, so we're not going to be concerned about heavy snow. We're not going to be looking at several inches of snow either. This is not like last February. This is very minimal activity that we're seeing. At least we'll probably see maybe some flurries in DFW. That's basically about it when it comes to that. But here's about 6:45 in the morning, and we're going through the next several hours after that, closer to 10, 11, 12. You can start to see by about 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, you start to see some flurries closer to like areas like Paris, and maybe even some flurries near Ardmore, and if I'm saying that right, might not be, but just over the north of the Red River Valley. So basically in southern Oklahoma, there could be a chance for maybe some flurries. Again, it's a low-end chance. Not everybody is, again, going to see snow. Just keep that in mind. Hopes could get up for some people out to the northeast. If you're in DFW, don't get your hopes up entirely. It's really about a 30 to 70%. It's about a 30% chance of even seeing snow right now. Not very high, but it's definitely a potential. Again, but here's about 1:30, and eventually going off closer to 2. You can see there's potential for maybe some flurries, and you can even see maybe a potential for flurries as far west as maybe Bowie. Again, it seems like it's a fairly low-end chance. At further west you go, the lower chance you have. So again, if you're like in areas like Wichita Falls, you basically have a 0%, almost a 0% chance of seeing anything. By about 3 o'clock tomorrow, you can see maybe some more development here around 3, but again, there's a chance that we don't see this much. Again, I'm going to keep saying this. It's mostly going to be flurries. A lot of this will be light snow, and I don't anticipate much of accumulation because the temperatures at the surface will be somewhere around the low to mid 30s, which even if snow gets through that warmer layer, once it hits the ground, it probably will not accumulate. So keep that in mind. This is by about 3 o'clock tomorrow. This is closer to about 5, 6 o'clock. You can see maybe even a chance of maybe some a little bit more heavy snow as close or as far west as maybe, Collin County. But again, it's going to be fairly, I think this is a bit of a generous model in giving snow to our region, but again, there could be a chance that we do see maybe up to a coating. And then eventually overnight, this will be all moving off to our east. I think the bulk of this over here will be snow, not rain, even though the computer model does show rain. I think the temperatures will be just cold enough for the point where it'll likely be just snow, or maybe a mixture of rain and snow as well. Eventually, later on overnight, we'll be drying out. And all this, even if you do see accumulation, it will likely melt during the morning hours Sunday. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's take a look at the accumulation, what I'm forecasting. So I've made a few updates to this. Nothing major. There's obviously been a couple of additions here. So let's go east to west. So the best chance for snow, as I've kind of said before, is way off to the northeast. This is closer, this is all north of Texas basically, and off to the east. 1 to 3 inches of snow will be possible in eastern Oklahoma and areas off to the portions of Arkansas, and eventually coating to an inch is going to be possible across areas like Sherman, Paris, maybe Sulphur Springs, probably not, but primarily to the north, closer to the Red River and northwards, you could see maybe a coating up to an inch of snow, and that up to the inch of snow will likely be off to the northeast, out of Texas. That will likely be in this area here. So if you're thinking you're going to get an inch in Sherman, it's very unlikely. If the most you'll see is most likely a coating. And then as well, flurries and potentially an isolated coating. I've added an isolated coating to this white shaded region That does include areas like Denton, Gainesville, McKinney, Dallas, and if you're like in Claiborne, I highly doubt you're going to see a coating. If anything, maybe a couple of snowflakes. That would be the most that you'll see there. So keep that in mind. The further west you are, the less snow and the less of a chance you have of seeing snow is. So keep that in mind. Make sure to stay up there with North Texas Weather Center for the latest here on Instagram as well as on Facebook, and make sure to subscribe here to our YouTube channel. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting, all dents repair, and THD Vehicle Doorstep. Make sure to buy one in the description below.